what you see is what you get. Hey guys, okay, we're gonna do some hair and makeup. This is exactly how I woke up. And everybody, I think, has the old cruds, right? Look at my face. This is my face. My eye makeup didn't even get off good last night because when I got in the shower, I always used this erase from Primavera along with a washcloth. Do you guys even think that I had my washcloth with me? No. So I thought I'll just have to get the best I can. So I didn't get it all off. But we're just going to get ready. I'm just going to get ready this morning. It's probably going to be a long one, so people can pop on and pop off if they feel like it. They can watch it later. I'm going to do some makeup on a couple of ladies. And I'm just getting ready. And I'm tired. And this is what I look like. Exactly. I mean, I literally just put on some clothes and came in here. Good morning. So, I'm just gonna, as I get ready, I'll tell you what I'm using and stuff. If there's anything that you're interested in or you want to know more details about, you can just, whenever I post this video, hey, Amy, please look at this. I mean, it gets no worse than this. It gets no worse than this. If there's something that you guys want to know about, you can always send me a message. And I'm terrible at reading comments. I'm going to try. If anybody comments, I will try to look at it, but I'm terrible. All right, so I'm going to start. I've not done anything, all right? So last night, I showered. You're welcome. And when I got out of the shower, I let my hair stay in a towel for a little bit. And then I put on it, brushed it out. I put some of this from IGK. This is the Style Memory Blowout Cream. And then in the roots, in a couple places, I use the Root Boost from Moroccan Oil. Okay? And then I brushed it through, rubbed my fingers through it, brushed it again, and then I blow dried it, like a rough blow dry. I didn't do anything to it. I mean, look, that's exactly how, this is you're fixing to see the true texture of my hair. I didn't do jack squat to it. Oh, I gotta put something on my lips. They are killing me. We're gonna put a little bit of lip oil on. This is a dupe for the Dior lip oil. I got it from Temu for $2, like, I don't know, 6 months ago. It's a really good one, and it stays on forever. So that's where we're at. Now I'm going to start by putting something on my face. What am I going to put on here? All right, this is a sunscreen. It's called Luxe Soleil. Luxe Soleil. Luxury Sun. So I'm going to put a dollop of this. Let me see what the SPF is. Hang on. Get the top on it. SPF 50. And then I'm going to mix a little bit of this Glass Correct from Wet n Wild. It's got some glow properties to it. Just like that. I don't want that ring on. I can't get it off. Alright, I'm going to mix it together. And then we can let this set on the face. I normally would do it on my chest too, but I have a sweatshirt on. If my chest was exposed. Okay. Also, I'm going to spray my hair with some heat protectant. Also from IGK. It's called Good Behavior. This has a heat protectant in it as well. But I'm going to put just a little bit of this before I start curling it and stuff. What else do I need to do to my face? Let me go ahead and do a little bit of eyebrows. This is my scattered self. I'm trying to put myself a little bit together because when I'm going to put makeup on people, I kind of want to look like they might want to buy makeup from me. Instead of like, if that's what you're selling, we ain't interested. the lighting in here is not the best. I'm in my makeup room. It's better when the darker it is outside, because the way my house is positioned, this room is the back of the house, and this is going to have to be the best that it can get, because it really, this lighting will accentuate my all my discolorations way more than what they really look like, honestly, in real life. It's the crappy camera quality sometimes. It over sharpens like images and stuff, but that's okay. It's better when it's actually more of a direct sunlight. When it's indirect, oh my gosh, it looks like an x-ray of my face sometimes. And now I'm going to put this is a primer for my face. It's this 4-in-1 prepping prime. I've bragged on it already. So I'm just going to douse myself so my face will be primed and ready for makeup whenever I get ready to do it. I think I may go ahead and do my eyes, my mascara, and then we'll start on hair. Yay! This is, this is the 4-in-1 prepping mist. And this is the Essence I Love Extreme Crazy Volume. I love this mascara. I can't believe I'm even on here like this. I mean, I can, but I'll really look homeless. I have a home. I like to comb my lashes down first and then up. So I was thinking to myself, I know I'll be on here a while today. What's something, interesting, funny, whatever to talk about? I mean, I can always explain what I'm doing, but you can also watch what I'm doing and just as well. And then if you have questions, ask questions about it. But I was like, what is something crazy or funny, that you did? And mine was sneaking out of my house in high school and getting caught. So I thought, let me tell this story, because this will tell you what kind of dumb kid I was. I mean, you know what I mean? Kids are dumb. They're dumb because they don't realize as parents how parents are so smart, because parents were also in that spot at one point in their life. So it's like you're trying to play the players. You know what I mean? Your parents know these things. I mean, not only do the parents have that parental intuition, they also know because they were once kids too that did these dumb things. And so me and my friend, we'll call her Eve, because that was her name. my best friend for the duration is Evie Pot Pie. My parents loved us together and hated us together because we laughed at there was nothing that wasn't funny. You ever have a friend like that it doesn't matter what is said, we got U's in conduct in grade school because we talked too much and got in trouble, and they would separate us, and then we would sign language across the room. And she always needed to cheat on tests, and she'd be like, that meant I need to look up, and she'd say like number 3, and I'd say A, B, C, or D, and I'd have to sign it. And then as soon as she started, the teacher automatically then kind of realized what we were doing. So anytime somebody cleared their throat, she was up looking. So then we'd have to start waiting until she stopped looking. And her name was Mrs. McCraney, and she was on to our shenanigans. I don't know if that was her married name or not, but she was our teacher, and so I can remember that fondly. All right. So back to the real stuff here. So we were sneaking out of the house. We had already had this planned out, what we were going to do. Mind you, we were 13. I was 13. She had just turned 14. She's a little bit older than me. her birthday was like 4 or 5 months before mine. So she had just turned 14. Oh my God, we're such idiots. We are such morons. I can't believe this. Alright, so I think I was 13 and she was 14. Because there were no driving permits involved. I assure you that. So, she probably lived 7 or 8 minutes from me. And we already had this. We were going to drive around town. We were going to get out and drive around town. I can't remember what little car her mama drove, but it was some little 2-door hatchback car. And my mama, so many late nights, would stay up at the piano because she sang. My mama, if there was a tent revival or a church gathering or whatever, we were always there. And we're going to curl hair too. Did I bring my brush in here? No. If there was a church gathering or something, we were always there. So, and there was a piano in our back room, so she was always banging on it and singing, you know, all her favorite gospel songs. And so one night she was in there. We had decided we were gonna sneak out that night. What was we gonna do? I don't know what we was gonna do, but it was just we were gonna do it. We were just gonna get out of the house. We didn't have no agenda. We didn't have no nothing. So my mom was in the back room, banging on this piano, singing, having a good old time. And I'm sitting here, Mama, oh my gosh, you're not going to bed? Because behind my house, there was a little road. This is also how the Lord works. The Lord is probably trying to prevent. And here I was still doing my own thing. Like, no, I'm going to go anyway. But there was every roadblock put in my way. And I still was going to do my own thing. That's kind of how we are as adults these days, right? When God's trying to tell us things and we're like, no, let me try my way first. And when I fail, then I'll come back on crying knees. That's the good behavior. Anyway, so she was in there just a banging on that piano. And so the back door was a huge wooden door. It was huge. It was in the house when we bought it. And it was really quiet though, but it was like this thick. And you could open it and close it. And so it didn't click, it didn't anything. It was just like a layer door that you would push to and then you would bolt it. It was really pretty and ornate. Mom hated it, but I thought it was gorgeous because it looked very like a castle. And so it didn't go with the house. Our house was just a basic ranch, an older style ranch house, but that door, it was just so really pretty. Anyway. It's easy to get in and out of too. Like I said, there's no clicking, no anything, no squeaking. It was like a huge swinging door. And so I was going to go, out that back door because there was, behind our house was this little road that was, dead end. There's nobody on it. So Eve was going to be on that road waiting for me at whatever specific time. And she was. But my mom was in that back room banging on that piano. So the door was in, had the piano in it. And I mean, we're talking it's midnight. Also, I thought I looked real cute in my mom's purple jogging suit. Purple jogging suit. Well, not a sweatsuit, it was a jogging suit. And Mom had told me, she said, she called me Suzanne. She always called me Suzanne. She said no, or sometimes she called me Susie, but most times she called me Suzanne. But I thought I looked good in that sweatsuit. It was a matching top and bottom, So I put it on. And it was, like I said, it was midnight. And Mama said, now Suzanne, don't you fall asleep in that sweatsuit because the sweatsuit is the falling of my grace. Let me just go and tell you. So Mom said, don't you fall asleep in that sweatsuit because it'll get them little balls all over it when you're sleeping. When you sleep and stuff and it makes all these little balls on it. And I said, I won't. And she said, all right. She said, well, that's my good sweatsuit. I mean, it probably was from Walmart. That was good for us though. I mean, it's still good, but it was like, it was a nice sweatsuit, especially back in the day. And I was like, I won't. So I sit here waiting on her to get through, and I can look out the back windows, and I can see Eve sitting out on that road behind my house. And I'm like, oh gosh, she's waiting. And of course, this is way before cell phones or any of that stuff. So I couldn't tell her, hey, wait a minute, Mama's in here, or any of that stuff. I just had to, hope she was just waiting, knowing that I knew she was there. Well, I'm like, I keep waiting and keep waiting and keep waiting, and I think, okay, I'm gonna have to go out the front door, which does squeak and creak and everything else, because Daddy's already in the bed because he had to work the next day, and Mom, still banging away, just worshiping, having a good time, and I'm being a crazy kid. This is also called the loudmouth from Head Candy, this curling iron. And so by the time I get out the front door, and I have to be real quiet, and I'm like legit, as I go out the door, let me show you, let me demonstrate. As I'm going out the door, and I really need to be hurrying, I'm opening the screen door and I'm closing the front door. So I'm like, I open the screen door, and then I'm pulling it too, and I'm halfway to, like, the screen door is open, the back door is open, the front door is open, main door, and I'm like trying to ease it and like pull both doors shut. And as I'm in the middle of both, Eve drives by the front of my house, sees me coming out the front door, and honks the horn. And I'm like, because I thought, everybody's going to hear. It's, middle of the night. So, again, we're such morons sometimes, I think to myself. We laugh about this still to this day. And so, I'm like, what are you doing? To myself, I'm saying that because I can't scream it out, but I wanted to scream, what are you doing? And I ended up, she went down to these apartments that we live next to, turned around, and came back to the house. And by that time, I'm at the road, and I jump in the car, right? That dum-dum is sitting on encyclopedias. You probably don't even know what encyclopedia is if you are much younger than me, because back in the day, we didn't have the internet to look up everything. We had encyclopedia books, so anything you wanted to know about, you had a volume of the Encyclopedia Britannica, and that was what you looked up all your stuff. So, for everything to be needed in those books for the whole world, there's thick books. So she had a couple of encyclopedias that she was sitting on to see over the steering wheel. Yeah, because we were not, she had to reach the gas pedals and to be able to see and all that stuff. She was more comfortable driving because her parents, she lived next to a store for a long time, and her mom would let her, kind of scoot over across the road. We live in the country, and it's just, there's fields, there's back roads, there's all that kind of stuff. So, my kids, they were driving it, probably 12, 13. Not on main roads or any of that stuff, but where we live out here in the country, we taught them to drive. They drove four-wheelers. They drove, mules, razors, all those kind of type things. So driving isn't foreign, especially if you're in the country. And so she was really good at driving. Me, not so much. Well, so we get in the car and we drive around. We don't do nothing. We drive around. She runs red lights. We're like laughing, having the best time of our life. It was raining. We are so stupid. Every time I think about, I'm telling y'all this stuff, I think about what idiots we are. So we'll say, we drive around for however long. Well, I told y'all, my mom was in there banging on that piano. By the time we got everything situated, that's not great. By the time we got everything situated, and got back, it was probably, my dad had to get up super early in the morning. And I wanted to hurry up and get back before he got up. So he's gone a couple hours, maybe. So we're pulling up, and you ever heard that song? Every light in the house is on. Yeah, every light in the house was on. And I was like, oh snap. Oh snap. And I thought, it's too early for Daddy to be up for work yet. Well, I didn't know what to do. I panicked. There was no way getting back in there because everybody was awake. I felt like, and it's probably now 3 or so. So I end up getting in my brother's car that was sitting in the driveway. Again, it had been raining, remember? And piling up in the seat and pretending like I was asleep. And probably within, I don't know, 10 minutes of me in there, probably with liquid diarrhea, almost thinking to myself, oh my gosh, I'm fixing to get murdered. I mean, I'm sitting here psyching myself up that I am, fixing to get sent off to military school or something because I didn't have everything. I mean, I'm sure my stomach was tore up and I was probably so sick at it, I was probably ready to throw up. I don't know. So my dad comes out and I lay down in the seat. Oh, God, y'all, even the kids are idiots. I was such an idiot. So my dad comes out and he says, he opens the door, and you know what I do? I wake up. I'm like, because I'm just kind of laying over in this. I really was stupid. So I raise up and I say, hey, Dad. He said, where have you been? And my dad Mama was the disciplinarian. Daddy really never had to, Mama did the stuff. Daddy just always only got involved if he had to. But he usually didn't have to. I mean, I was a pretty good kid. I didn't do a whole lot. This is one of probably the worst things that I really ever did. And looking back on it, it wasn't as bad as what it could have been. But it's what some people do, but still, it doesn't matter. It's still bad. And, there was no drinking or drugs or none of that stuff involved. But so I was like, I said, hey, I said, sorry. I said, I just needed some quiet alone time. So I just came out here and, had to, sit down and think about some things. I guess I fell asleep. He said, no, I just came out here 5 minutes ago and looked in the car and you wasn't in here. I was thinking, man, if I'd been here 5 minutes, we'd have been here 5 minutes earlier. And, I said, I was walking around. Trying to sort some things out in my head. What does I guess the 13-year-old's got things to sort. And so he put his hand on my head and on my clothes. He was like, he just kind of patted me. And he said, you're not wet. It's raining. It's raining. I told him I've been walking around the rain. I was dry as a bone. And I said, and I was literally trying to come up with everything, right? I don't know what all lies I probably told. And they saw all right through it. And, well, then, of course, it was, yes, Eve came, got me, Eve did this, Eve whatever. Meanwhile, back at the ranch, Eve is back home. She had put the phone off the hook. No, she unplugged the phone in her house, because we had house phones back then, people. Back in the dark days, we had house phones, and she had, unplugged it so it wouldn't ring. And of course my mom was like, well, I'm calling Eve's mom. And it's, Mom kept calling. She couldn't get through because it was off the hook. Well, the one time it finally rang. And Eve said, hello. There was no caller ID. And Mom said, Eve, let me talk to your mom. Put your mother on the phone. And Eve had to go wake up her mom, because guess what? Sweet Betty Jean was all asleep unbeknownst to her. Like a good parent would have been. She was clueless. So Eve goes and gives her the phone and says, as she gives her the phone, hey, Mom, I stole your car. Here's Susie's mom. And so, of course, my mom has to tell her what happened. And, yeah, we got grounded. We got grounded from each other. And we still talk about it because we talk about how dumb we were to have been in those, in a car where we couldn't even stay over the steering wheel. I mean, can you imagine that? I did a terrible job. There's no telling what my hair's going to look like. But, I mean, kids are idiots. Idiots. And I'm sitting here like, my parents is going to believe what, and they would have probably believed it. If I would have been a little smarter, they would have believed it, because I was a very trustworthy kid that didn't lie. You know, I mean, and we didn't even really do anything. I'm going to put my makeup on now. Seint cream. We didn't really do anything to warrant any kind of bad stuff, but we still took a vehicle that didn't belong to us, underage, and drove it around in the middle of the doggone night on a rainy night at that. Can you believe that? That's my best friend, still to this day. And we don't even see each other as much or talk as much as what we did. But every time we talk, or we just randomly text about, you know, how much we love each other, miss each other, and we got to get together. And then, of course, we don't follow through with that. But like I wish we did. But when we do get together, it is every time you pick up. That's the sign of having a true best friend. You pick right up where you left off every time. And so we always have the best time, and we still laugh about that to this day. I mean, of course, my mom one day was like, you know, maybe you don't need to be hanging around with Eve. If that's how, and I was like, well, I don't even know. It was probably my idea. Of course, my parents never wanted to think that I had those. My dad did. He knew how it was, but Mom always thought, you know, whoever I was with was the bad influence. Now, friends do make you, you know, you're gonna be like whoever you hang around. So you do have to, you know, pick your friends wisely. But when you're a kid, I'm gonna be honest, sometimes your parents do need to pick your friends for you. And that doesn't happen a lot. But, you know, I don't know. But Mom was like, and I'd be like, no, Mom, that was my idea. I mean, I had as many bad ideas as anybody. I could be a sneaky kid if I wanted to be. But Mom would always think whoever my friends were it was, you know, it was their fault. Eve must have talked me into it or something. I was like, no. She's like, well, you and Eve is grounded from each other. I was like, that's my best friend. But my parents, they loved her. I mean, we just ran into her aunt the other day, me and Daddy. And, because my daddy's 81. He had to go pre-buy his funeral. He wanted to pay for his funeral so that we didn't have to. So he was like, I want to go ahead and get that out of the way. And we ran into her aunt who worked at the funeral home. And I said, this is Eve's aunt. And he said, that's my second daughter. We were always together. And then you grow up and you get married, and you don't have, not everything's centered around your friends anymore. Your life changes, but man, it's always such good memories to have. Alright, I just put my contour cedar and my main highlight. Now, I think I'm going to do sunlit. I've been using sunlit lately. I'm going to brighten up right here. I'm sure that my hair is going to not cooperate because it looked extra fuzzy and frizzy, because that is the texture of it. My hair does a lot better when it is a day or two dirty. And it was really dirty, so I had to wash it last night. But y'all know what caused me to get caught? Again, have I told y'all that I was a dummy kid? Because I wanted to wear that purple jogging suit. And Mama had already told me, Suzanne, don't go to sleep in that jogging suit. But I thought I looked good in that jogging suit. I thought, I'm gonna wear it. I'm gonna wear it out in case we run into anybody, we see anybody. I need to be looking good at 3 a.m. You think any of our friends would have been out? No. But anyway, we were big time. Mother come in there when she got through with her piano banging a couple, 30 minutes, 45 minutes later, whatever, and saw me in the bed. It wasn't me. Saw me in the bed, and she thought, and looked around and didn't see my purple sweatsuit that I had on. It was actually her purple sweatsuit. Didn't see it. And she said, she's went to bed after I told her not to. So she went to pull the covers back to wake me up to tell me to take off that purple jogging suit. I told you not to wear this purple jogging suit to bed. Well, all she pulled back and saw was a bunch of pillows and stuffed animals. So, had I not put on that jogging suit, I'd probably be in jail to this day. Because I probably needed right then to get caught so that I would straighten up and be like, because I hated to disappoint my parents. Oh my gosh, I hated it. And I knew it was disappointing because I straight lied to them. And I just didn't have to lie. My oldest son is the same way, honest to a fault. Like, every once in a while, even though he is honest, I'm thinking, dude, you could probably left that out because you fixing to get in trouble for saying that. Wouldn't tell him that, but I would think it sometimes, but that's just how it was too. My mom would always say, Suzanne, you'd spill your guts. If somebody's going to listen, you're going to tell them. And I would, I would just tell everything. Because, open book. And of course, my husband's always like, you don't have to be that open. You don't have to quite be that open. But alas, I do. So, that purple jogging suit was the beginning of my demise that night. It really just sealed the deal. Sealed my fate. But I am glad I got caught. Looking back now, I'm really glad I got caught because we'd have done it a whole lot more probably because we had a good time out joyriding and all that. Alright. Let me put on some bronzer. I have to leave my house here in like 20 minutes. Alright, let's see I don't know what color I want to wear on my cheeks today. I mean, it's Saturday. It looks like it's a beautiful day. I don't know if it's cold out or not. I hadn't been out yet. I ain't been up long. I couldn't sleep last night. I was up till 3 o'clock. Well, it wasn't 3. It was 2:30. I think I probably fell asleep. I just could not sleep. I had not acid reflux, but it felt like that. Like my stomach was really yucky. My dog's one in here at the door. Look at that. Those curls, I didn't even pin them up good. No worries. Worst case, I can pull it back. Or recurl. Let me let the doggies in. Come on, you coming. Oh, you coming too? Come on. You can get here and sit down. Have a seat. Have a seat. They will pace around the door. Alright, normally I would wear rosewood because I've been loving rosewood. I've been loving Madrid too. Maybe I should do Madrid. We'll do Madrid because I've been on that kick. Madrid is such a pretty little pinky peach. It's really pretty. And I'll put it on my lips too. Alright, and you know what's funny? So I did a giveaway, and I was so happy with my giveaway. My giveaway was so good. Sorry, I got a hair in my mouth. My giveaway was so good. And so I had like just a terrible migraine. This is my chai latte. I had a terrible migraine the night I was gonna draw my winner and stuff, but I was so tired I couldn't hold my eyes open. I took some medicine to try to help it, and I couldn't hold the phone to even sit there and count, because I had to count. I did the way I do my giveaways is, if it's only a few people, I can put their names in a wheel and spin it, but it takes a lot of time to put everybody's name in the wheel. So I just do a random number generator, and then I go through and I count, and I just, boom, that's it. So I have to make it just super easy and simple. And it was a name that was a little familiar, and I was like, oh. And so when I sent her the message and I said, hey, you won, let me know your address and I'll send your package. And she said, I'm not far from you. And she's really probably 10 minutes from me, maybe. Not even 10 minutes, probably 7 minutes. And then I looked at her profile and I was like, did you go to school with my son? And she said he graduated a year. I'm putting the same Madrid on my lips. She said he graduated the year before me. And then she went to college, one of the local community college, with my daughter-in-law, who he's married to. And I was like, oh, small world. So I don't even have to ship it. I'm going to drop it off by her house. Isn't that exciting? Eee. All right, so I've got that on there. It's kind of outlined a little bit too harsh, but that's okay. I love a brown liner. I feel like brown liners just make it work. And then I'm going to use my LA Colors. This holographic. Y'all, this is so pretty. I got it from Walmart. It's called Glazed Donut. And it has the prettiest shimmers. These little, I don't know if you can see it or not, but oh, so we're going to put that on. And then when I rub my lips together, it will all kind of fade together. All right. Now let's take our hair down. Check this situation out. Now let me do a little bit of my illuminator. This is Nova. I love Nova. Oh my gosh, do I love Nova. I like the rose gold too. It's really pretty. I like honey. Okay, never mind. I just like them all. There's no sense in me telling you. Maybe I should just tell you my favorites, Nova. And I'm going to use my sponge really quick. And go over it. And then I'll do a little bit of powdering too. I'm going to use this same shape brush. I'm going to put right over my eyelids because I put the sunlight on my eyelids to prime them earlier. And yesterday was Groundhog's Day. I don't even know if we saw our shadow. One of our local places does. I'm from Sand Mountain. Yeah, we're from Sand Mountain. If you talk like I do, you're from the mountain, Sand Mountain. We have a local place. It's called Bama Bucks. Y'all, if you're ever in this northeast Alabama area, people travel from hours and hours away to eat there. And it is literally in a small little, very, very, very small community. I don't know if it's a city. It's probably a town. But it's called Bama Bucks. And they do the wild game and food like elk and bison and all that stuff. They also have regular food too, but like they do the quail. They do all kinds of neat stuff. It's a great place to go for the experience, and it's beautiful. It's beautiful. It's great. And Terry, who the owner is, he always has a fire out. It don't matter if it's 9,000 degrees or whatever. He loves to have a fire burning because you can smell it whenever you get out. He has a fire pit out front, and it's an experience to go, but then you're always going to want to go back because it's so good. So they have, okay, this, I'm putting the 4-in-1 Prep and Prime back on my face. Oh. And don't be shy with it. Be generous. they have a Sand Mountain Sam to see if he sees his shadow. So it's funny. In our local, I guess local, but it's almost statewide, or I guess the top of the state, Alabama. We have a possum queen because Sand Mountain Sam is a possum, not a groundhog. So we're like, Phil who? Who's Puxatawny Phil? That ain't gonna curl worth a mess over here. Look at that. Well, it did. So I don't even know if Sand Mountain Sam saw his shadow yesterday. I don't know if the groundhog up in Pennsylvania saw his shadow. I don't know if we're going to have 6 more weeks of winter or not. That one curled a little bit. I've sat here like I have all day. Hey! Listen, every time I see your Neptune in a spoon, I think that is so clever. It's so fun to say, Neptune in a spoon. What does that even mean? What does Neptune in a spoon mean? Pinning my curls like this really helps them to stay because my hair is so fine and thin and frizzy, and it really helps give volume. It don't mean nothing. That's the best kind, right? Somebody ever say something to you like, why would you do this? And you're like, there's really no reason why you did it. You're like, no reason. I just did it to do it. There's no reason behind it. I love it. All right. I need my sexy hair. This is a cream to powder. I love this stuff, y'all. So I'm going to do my fingers through, rough it up a little bit. Oh, I knew I was going to miss one. Sometimes you find out the hard way. So kind of zhuzh it up. And I will still have a ring on that caught it. I'm going to, bye. Live's over. I'm going to, that's why I don't like to wear mini rings. I love this. This is just, nothing gets caught on it. And then I'll comb it through. Curls typically don't last in my hair. But like the big pretty ones. But when I do it like this right here, it leaves enough waves. I just comb them almost always straight out. But when I pin them, it lasts longer. But now when I do use my little one like this one, they will last for days. Days. Alright, so I'm going to put some of this on my hand. Not that much. And then you just kind of put it in your hair. I always put it right there at the roots. Or as some people say, the root. And it's kind of like the, if you've ever used the powder play from Big Sexy, or any of those powders that give you so much grip and volume, to where sometimes it's kind of almost hard to run your fingers through. Except for I feel like this right here is not as strong as those. So it gives me a little bit of that volume because my hair is usually so fine and limp. But this way, when I do things, it will, all of a sudden, the volume, it'll stay. Like, that'll stay. A while ago, before I did it, it wouldn't have been up that high. It would have ended up kind of falling. Alright, and y'all know I'm going to pull it back because that's my story of my life. My nose is so shiny. And I didn't do my eyeballs. I don't know if we'll have time to do that. I may have a few minutes. And see, I have this one white streak here. My hairdresser, her name's Kim. She's like an hour from me, but so good. She's also still Seint. I mean, I absolutely love the color of my hair. But she has to work that little gray area here and try to blend it in. If you've ever saw Freddy Krueger, the one girl who saw him and lived to tell about it, so she has the streak in her hair. Yeah, that's about what I'm like here. I'm one streak. I don't know where my little pick is. I mean, how can I misplace things like I miss? I mean, there's not even a whole, I don't even have a whole lot here. But oh, there it is. But I managed to misplace all the time. Right in front of me. Right in front of my face. See, I got a lot of gray right there, too. I mean, ain't nothing I can do about it. It's called getting older. I don't know how much I'm going to want to pull out because I may pull some back in. Not sure yet. I forgot to do my hair serum too. I usually put a hair serum on. But I think I can still do, I'll still do it with, I'm going to just play with it. Now the claw clip that I use, that looks weird. The claw clip that I use will let me adjust however I want. Like I can have my hair the way I want, and then I put this in and it just stays. That's why I love a claw clip. Sometimes I'll use the little clear elastics, y'all, and I love these. These are linked in my Amazon, like under my favorites. But these elastics, there's 1,000 of them. I think it like legit comes with 1,000, and I love them because when I take them out, I usually just toss them. And they're very stretchy. But now I have reused them before, but if I've ever tried to reuse it the third time, it'll break on me. So I usually just use it a one and done because I'm like, I would really hate for it to break in my hair when I've got it fixed. But they've never broke on my, first or second time of me using it. Let me put a little hair serum in. This is also from IGK. It's called Cry Baby. And it smells good. And I'm just going to say, I'm not super happy with my hair. But I knew I wouldn't be. From the time I first started curling it. Some days it does better than others. And I'm going to make sure I get the ends really good. I was going to say, I may put a curl in that, but I don't think I need to. And then, even with the claw clips, you can kind of pull those and make a little bit more volume if you need to. You can always play around with that. And then if you find any places that you miss and you need to curl, knock yourself out. Alright, and then I'm going to use, let's see, I love this dry volume thickening spray, but I think I'm going to use a little bit of this Flex Hold hairspray that oh, that's a texture spray. This would be good too. That's better. I like it when it's more curly. Let me see if I can find it. Where's it at? I just bought it. I have too many IGK. Yeah, it's called Please Hold. It's a flexible hairspray. I usually try to wash my hair on Friday nights because my hair does better really on the second day. And that way, tomorrow for church, it'll fix easier. That's part of my strategy. Alright. And I am going to do some quick eyes really quick. Because I have to leave here in less than 5 minutes. I need to leave at 10:20. Used to, when I would go do makeovers on multiple people and stuff, I would get real like, oh my gosh, I gotta do this. Those days are gone. I just kind of show up now. I'm fine showing up. All right, well, of course we're gonna do Bubba. Actually, we're just gonna do my fave combo because that's easy. My fave is Bubba. Blondie. I love Blondie. We'll do pomegranate next. A little bit of Philly. Oh my gosh, and somebody said they could not find Philly on the website. I love Philly. And I don't know if I have an extra one. I hope I do, because I love Philly. Cocoa and Philly is very similar, but I like Philly. Philly is just a little bit of more of a brown. I don't know how to describe it, but I like it better. They're the same, very similar, but you know what you like. So this is pomegranate. When I get through, I'll take you to a window to natural light and let you see it a little bit better. What it looks like on. Because I don't feel like the lighting here is that great. I really needed to probably not pull all that back. Maybe a little bit of that. That needs to go back. So moving the pomegranate and just kind of blending it. Pulling this. Let's stick it back in that clip. That's what I love about a claw clip too, is you can adjust. Do really quick. A little bit of Philly. And I'll put just a little bit of that Philly under my eyes too. Did I put any mascara on my lower lashes? I don't think so. I almost use Philly as just more of a tiny, tiny bit, like a little anchor. And then I can take this brush, clean up any extra fallout that I may have had. And I guess put some mascara on this lower lashes. I thought I did. Maybe I didn't. I guess I didn't. I don't feel any on there. And why not throw in another coat for dramatics? I'm gonna have to go to the dermatologist too and get this looked at. Cause this, I went to the dermatologist not too long ago because I thought, cause something was on my lip. I don't know if y'all remember that, but I had it cut off. And they got it all. So there's nothing left, thank the Lord. But this came up afterwards. And it's like a little hard place, but, or it's like a little rough little place. Let's go to the window, or to the door, and see what it looks like. Good enough. Let me throw on some earrings. I'm gonna throw all my stuff in a bag and go. I'm actually going to one of my best friends from high school's, her sister. And that's where I'm going today. And I mean, now she's my friend because I work with her. Look at those, so cute. Alright, let me show you. Let me make sure my husband's got on clothes. Sometimes he's running around the house in his underwear. We'll see. He's not in here. He's getting ready. Hey, honey, hang on. trying to see. Maybe a little too early. I'm not sure how the lighting is because it's kind of bright outside, but hopefully that gives you a better... I'll probably look back at the video and be like, oh, you should have done that. Anyway, if you want to color match, it is... Well, eyeshadow is easy. It is easy. I'm not great at it, but I have... Literally, I can slap it on now. The more I do it, the easier it is. But anyway, if you want to color match, it's colormatchbysusie.com. I'll be sure to link it whenever I post this, and I hope you all have an amazing Saturday.